No, sorry, because
She usually
we were
does.
like, okay, now we start 25 minutes.
Because I just started recording again too, so I usually forget that. But it's 25 minutes on how to use Blab. It's 25 minutes long. It's fast paced with a clear goal, and that we want to give you the confidence to use Blab. We don't answer a lot of questions from the audience. We show you how to use Blab, and that's pretty much it. We ask you to hold all questions until the end, and we do ask that you join the Blab when there's an open seat. Roy Montero has an open seat forever. The guy is extremely good with this stuff, and if he decides he wants to come in and take one of those open seats, I'm good with it. The Circadians are a community that what we do is I've built some communities for some pretty well-known people, communities that have guys that have 1 million followers or more. And our community isn't built around, one of the things I learned is to not build a community around a single individual. The community that we are building is called the Circadians, and we're a guru-free zone getting stuff done. That's what we do. We meet in 25 minutes. We've already had one meeting this morning at 9 o'clock talking about marketing and stuff like that. And it's 25 minutes of getting it done and moving to the next thing. But we live, work, and thrive in a guru-free zone. Everybody is equal and everybody is important, and everyone has their own special gift. The sum of those gifts is greater than the individual. So if you want to know more about the Circadians, just hit us up at the end of this broadcast. We create event-driven, outcome-oriented, business-building platforms, broadcast websites like this that say this is exactly what we're going to get done. You can email me at stan@thecircadians. I'm going to go over the rules of Blab. They really don't have any rules. Focus. That's right. That's exactly right, Roy. And you know what I'm going to ask you to do, Roy? Because I already know how he does, that he knows how to do this. We're going to cover it in this document. Go ahead and put that in with a Q. And he knows what that means. Blab doesn't really have rules, but the Blab team has created some agreements that they want the community to go by. So pay attention to them. They want you to respect each other. They want to honor the viewer's time, let others talk. See, he's like on top of everything. Don't be an awful person to be around. Argue the point, not the person. And the host sets the rule to the party unless they conflict with those rules. In other words, when you go into some of these Blabs, you're going to be surprised by some of the things that are said. And that if you want to argue about them, argue the point and not the person when you start calling names and things like that. And then you'll see when you download this document, you're going to see a page here that Roy's going to be on that's called First Things First. And it's the people that we want to thank who has helped us thus far with Blab. Roxanne Davenport, Mia Voss, Sue Zimmerman, Mark Levy, Robert Stern, Brian Fanzo, Joel Com, Vin Brown. There's a lot of names on here. And again, like I said, Roy Montero. How's it going, Nazim? Roy Montero is going to be on that list too because it was an oversight. Yes. Did you say something? Oh, you said hello to Nazim. Yes. Okay. Over on the left-hand side, we're going to get right started into what's going on with Blab right now. Over on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little thing that says, tell a little bird. And when you click on that, tell a little bird, like the document. Oh, Ron's got ready. Ron moving on, man. He's got his little signs and everything up there now. I got to give him a couple of props on that. That's awesome. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see this tell a little bird. And if you click on that, it's going to bring up a dialog box, just like it shows in this document. And if you put your mouse in the box and type anything that you want to, you can overtype some of this. But then at the bottom of it, you click post tweet. And that's going to send out a notification to everybody that your Blab has started, everybody that's following you on Twitter and stuff like that, that your Blab has started. And it's a good idea to get that out of the way at the beginning, because that way people know, people that are following you know about it. Yeah, thanks, Roy. I'm telling you, the guy's great. The next thing to do is click on any of the people in the squares. If you put your mouse over Ron and you double click on it, you see the little bubbles that are coming up there. Those are called props. People give people in the Blabs, some people call them blabbers. I call myself a blabberhead. When they say things like that or that they like or that they agree, that's a way that you can notify them that they've said something that you like. They don't accumulate. There's no checks that come in the mail afterwards. They're just a way to say, I agree with what you're talking about here, or that you just like something that they said. It's just a really nice gesture. The next one is your Blab profile. Up on the top right-hand side, you're going to see your image. You can see a picture of you up on the top right-hand corner. That picture doesn't have to be you. You can change it to better suit the message you want to convey on Blab, because you may have a different persona that you want to, appear here. It's a good idea to be authentic when you're in these in the Blabs, because when you start talking to people, because of the natural way that you communicate, people are going to know it anyway. So if you get up there and say, I'm a nice guy, and then you get in there and you start slamming everybody in every Blab you get into, they'll know. But here's how you change that. If you click on that, there's going to be a drop-down menu. The first one's going to say profile. Don't click on that. If you click on the profile, it's going to take you out of the Blab. What you want to do is go to the one that says settings. I'm going to show you what the I'm going to show you what those are here just a little bit later. Meyer, I'm going to let you in. Anyway, blabbers roll over each other's profiles to find out about them. So when you roll over somebody's picture up in the top, you're going to see a drop down that's going to give you information about that person. Well, if you go to that top image and go to settings, it's going to bring up a page that has the fields in it for your name, your email address, and your bio. The information in the bio field is what's displayed when somebody rolls over your picture or your profile picture. If you make a change here, it's immediate, and you can change this while you're in a Blab. There's also a line that says image with a clickable button that says choose file. The image you choose here does not have to match your Twitter profile, because sometimes people come in on your business Twitter account, but in Blab, people kind of want to see who the person is more than some logo of a business. So if you want to put your picture up there, it makes a lot more sense to do it there. You just go and click change file, and it will, or choose file, and then upload that. You'll also see a place for turning on desktop and iOS notifications. That means you get notifications on your desktop that says somebody is starting a Blab, like Patricia Ann followed me on Blab. I know that now because I just got a notification on that. My notifications are turned on, and I appreciate it. My face is not clear because of the backlighting. Yes, probably. I changed my lighting about 10 minutes, about 2 minutes before we came in here. I appreciate that, and I'll work on that a little bit later. I do appreciate that. Other neat things under your profile page is when you click on, you can't click on profile now, but when you go up to that picture and you click on profile after the Blab, you're going to see the number of days you've been on Blab. And if you've already hosted some Blabs, they will be viewable on your page under replay. There's going to be like 4 different things over there: replays, how many followers you have, and how many people are following you. You can see a list of your followers and whom you are following on your profile page. If you look at your followers' profiles, you can see if the follow is mutual. You can't see that by looking at the people you're following. You can only see that by looking at the people who are following you. Looking there will tell you if the follow is mutual. So you can look and see who's following and decide if you want to follow them. It's kind of like Twitter profiles. Each Blab has 4 blabbers, including the host. The host normally sits in the top left-hand square where I'm at, and they determine how many seats will be open. I can close a seat. You don't see that from here, but yes, they're only available when you, hey, Melanie, they're only available when you record the Blab. That's part of what we're doing now is creating some content so that people can go back and look at that. But the host determines how many seats will be open, and they also decide if there'll be rotating blabbers. In other words, if Maytar, there's a little X for me there, if I wanted to close him out, or Nina, I could just close them and then allow Melanie or somebody else in there too. Comment stream. On the right-hand side, again, if you download this friendly PDF and print it, you can follow all of this. On the right-hand side, you'll see a comment stream. Simply type your comment into the Say Something Cool and dialog box and hit enter, and your comment will be added to the stream. In mobile, it's below the video. If you have a question, this is what question: can a blab be private or restricted? No, it cannot be private. It can be semi-restricted only in the number of seats that you open up and allow people to come into. Now, Ron is holding up a little page here, a little sign here that shows you what it is. It's /Q space question. So what I'm going to ask Bill to do is I'm going to ask Bill to say /Q space and put that same question in there. Can a blab be private or restricted? Yes, exactly like that, Richie. And so that brings attention to that, because when you're holding a blab, there's so many things that distract you. There's a reason they call it disruptive technology. And there's so many things that distract you, and there's so many things going on in some of the blabs, you really can't keep up with the comments. You really don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, see there, can a blab be restricted? And so when you learn the little things like this, it will make a big difference when you go into a blab and the way people react and with you. So we got the question. You'll notice the question is highlighted and it allows us to see it. Okay. Now rolling over, let's roll over Roy Montero's name, and you're going to see a little star come up and then a little reply button come up. If you click the star, it's going to, like I just did, if you look over the one where he's saying hello to Richie, they probably know each other. If you click on Roy's comments, you'll see the numbers change from 1 to 2 to 3, and the star turns gold. That gives Roy some feedback in the comment stream without being inside of the blab about what people think about what he's saying, or a comment that he made, they agree with it, or along those lines. Now, if they want to reply to Roy, what you would do is you would click on the little reply arrow, and you'll notice down in the, yes, it's like a Facebook like. If you look down at the bottom, when you click on the arrow, on the reply arrow, you'll see that it automatically puts Roy's name in the box. And when I reply now, it'll automatically have a notification for him. So how do you do it on a mobile device? We're going to get into that in just a second here when we get through the rest of this. If you click the star, you'll be favoriting that comment. It will also bring the comment to the blabber's attention. To those people who are who are used to Google Plus, it's kind of like a plus. It's kind of like a plus on Google. All right, joining the blab is very easy. When there's a seat open, you'll see a join button right in the middle of one of the squares. If there's 4 people in here, nobody can join. If there's not a join button, that means that the host has turned off that ability and has locked those seats. What about following? Okay, click on click on my name. Up in the top in the squares, you'll see my name in these squares. If you click on this, it's on my name, it's going to bring up my profile. It's going to say, I run daily 25-minute live streaming clinics on how to get stuff done for a community called the Circadians. And it tells you that I have 232 followers, and it tells you how many days I've been on Blab and how many are following me. There's also a button there that says follow. And if you want to follow me, you just click that button and it will start following me. You can do the same thing with any of the pictures of the people who are along the top line there, of the people who are in the blab. You can do that with any position in blab where somebody's name shows up. You can do that. You can just click on their name, bring up the profile, and follow them from there. That's why it's important to have that bio say what it is that you do. And, because the way I follow people is exactly that. I go look at their bio and I go, this is a person that I want to follow, or this is not a person that I want to follow. And it's not a personal, well, it is a personal decision, but it's nothing personal against them if I don't follow them. Okay, now that's like record time, isn't it, Nina?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like how many
earlier.
minutes? How many? Let's see. It's
Yeah, we have
10:19.
5
Oh, I
minutes.
forgot to
So
add help. And I'm glad that you're here because you see he's got his stuff together. And
yeah,
topic. Oh
it's
yeah.
on the yeah.
Well, like, there's a danger in the topic, new topic, and when we start discussing that, if Roy wants to come in, then then we'll allow him to come in. Let me tell you what the @help does. The @help allows you, if you're having a technical issue, if you send an @help, then somebody from hey Roy, somebody help, somebody from Blab will come in and help. I was in one the other day where the entire thing was stopped, and then the next thing I knew, Sean was in there, and Sean got whatever it was fixed, and this is new. Audio
Or
only.
internet signal. Yeah.
Yeah, audio only. That's new. I haven't seen that before, Roy, but it's fine.
Yeah, they are doing that for us as well, because a lot of people don't necessarily want to come on cam. I have a dozen reasons why I don't. I used to be for like 6 years, and for the last 2 years I haven't been. There's reasons behind that. But anyway, thank you, Stan, for saying all those really nice things about me. I was just blown away. Thank you so much for that.
It's all true, man.
Thank you.
So tell us something about there were two things. One is the @help. And is that only from the host? Because it seems like they are keyed in on technical issues.
Anybody can do @help, HELP, and usually Brittany will come in when she's available. So with more and more people coming on, so it's going to take a little longer for them to be able to join. In the beginning, when there were only like about 10 of us here, we just do @Brittany Metz, and boom, she'd be right there. So she's since had the @help done, which is a lot easier for people to remember than her entire name. So they're very, very responsive, and that's one of the things that is making this platform as friendly and as approachable and as good as it is because Team Blab is right on top of everything right from the word go, and I love it. Stan, you know that.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I have seen you. I've not seen you. I've always listened to you. But I've gone in. I've got this guy. Really, he understands. Like, my group. We talked about this morning is that one of the issues with Blab, and one of the reasons that we're running it this way, our 25 minutes, is because, as you know, those conversations can just wander and wander and wander.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I can address that for just a second. So here's what I let people know. So what you're doing here is fabulous. I do the same thing. I help people with one side of the issue, so to speak. I believe that every issue, everything has two sides, not necessarily opposite sides, but side by sides. What do I mean? I mean, there's a mechanical side and then there's a mindset side. So what we're going over right now is the mechanical side. Click here, it does that. Do this, all of the mechanical side. So once everybody's good with the mechanical side, how about the mindset side? And so here's the question I ask. Is your why bigger than your butt? B-U-T. So the reason you're on Blab is your why. I'm on Blab. Why am I on Blab? Okay, what's the reason for you being here? Oh, it's the newest, shiniest object. I have to go check it out. Okay, that's great. But that may not be a big why, because the excuse for not being on Blab, the butt, B-U-T, may be bigger than your reason if it's only a shiny object to you. So you have to have some sort of a strategy, some sort of a long-term goal on why you're here. So I'll stop right there. I can go on forever on that. But Stan, do you agree with that?
Yeah, man. Well, he's actually shown exactly. I think everybody now knows why. When he showed up, I went, "Hey, man, Roy's here," because he's got a great insight as to what's going on. There's a couple of questions that I am going to answer. Is that Bill, Vic, where can I find a list of the various / or @ codes and commands? That I don't really know of one other than that's in the frequently asked questions. If you go to blab.im and look down at the bottom, you're going to see a link to frequently asked to FAQs. And if
Correct.
Roy knows of a list, then
yeah, that's the best they have officially. But there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of other stuff. So if you just go into google.com and type in Blab tutorial or Blab help, or blab any other word that you can think of that might help you. And there's a lot of stuff already on YouTube, as well as just written stuff with screenshots. So there's a lot of people that are doing that.
Mm-hmm. And then there was another question or
about how can you close the seat when you don't want the person in?
Yeah, there was a question about trolls, about blocking them. Okay, when you click on, let's say you click on, don't click on my name because I don't want you to accidentally do it, but let's say that you click on somebody's name across the top. When you roll your mouse over there, you're going to see a hazard sign up on the top right-hand side of it. It's not yellow or anything like that, but there is like a hazard thing. And right there is, when you roll your mouse over that, don't click on it, but when you roll your mouse over that, you're going to see a thing that says report and block user from stream. Now, I think that blocks it only from this stream, though. Is that right, Roy? I don't think it blocks it.
That's correct. So what happens? Yeah, what happens is only the host has the ability to do that. So we will start to get trolls. People will come on here. Yesterday, I was in a really great blab, and yes, we had a troll. So what it does, it blocks that person from even entering into the blab, and it keeps them from not posting in the comment area. But you'll still see them up on the top, and of course, the blab team will come right to your rescue as soon as they're available and help remove said person. So yeah, they don't want any blocking features yet, like the rest of the internet, where you can block people from actually entering into and so on and so forth, because they want this to be an open platform, and they want us to kind of sort of police our own. And the one thing that they always say, here's the mindset side: don't feed the trolls. If you don't feed them, they'll starve, they'll die, and they'll go away.
Yeah, if you give them if you converse with them or try to convince that what they're doing is, ridiculous or whatever, it's exactly what it's doing is feeding. It's just encouraging them to continue that kind of stuff. So I just, I haven't blocked any of them. I've just kicked them out. But that was interesting. I did not know that you couldn't block, that only the host has the ability to block it from the stream then?
That is correct. That is correct. And while we're on that, anyone could change the topic as well. So if I may, Stan, let me talk about that real quick. So sometimes you think of a topic as the host and it does great and it pulls people in. Other times, not so much. If that happens, change the topic. And not only that, but as Stan was saying earlier, a lot of us don't stay on topic because it goes from zig to zag, back to zig, more zags. And as the topic changes, go ahead and change the topic on the side by going /topic, space, and then write the new topic. Now, anyone in the seats can do this. So the host needs to be, aware of this so that somebody who's in the seats who's, trolling doesn't, say anything or change it to something really, really bad, because it reflects on the homepage. So that when people scroll down on the homepage and they want to see what they want to join, it reflects in real time almost immediately.
Yeah, I knew there was when the subject came up about the topic, that's one thing that I haven't put on our document because there's a certain amount of danger in that, but it's only within the people who are in the seats. So that because there were people that were talking the other day about the people in the stream or that were watching a blab could change the topic, but I didn't think that was true. And I think you've clarified that too. It's only the people who are actually in the blab, right?
That's correct, in the seats. Nazim has a really great question. Can you also talk about seat hogs?
Yeah. One of the keys to all of this stuff to me is knowing when to leave. You just because you come in and you say, I just want to make this point, and then you hang out for another 30 or 45 minutes. Well, you didn't really just want to make that point. You want to make that point and a bunch of others. And when somebody's in one of those blabs where there's a lot of information being passed around, and there is, I've seen blabs, 5.5 hours. And so there's a lot of topics that's covered in 5.5 hours. So if you go in and you want to make a point and then leave, that's really good. I do have a question for Maytar because we are at 10:28 and we are Nina, who is my time person, she just held up that 2, so that means 2 minutes. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Maytar, because I know that you've been in you were here yesterday and you were here today, so I'd like to know a little bit about you.
Yeah, I like to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what's up? I like to interact with the internet and all the English pages that it has to offer in order for me to in order for me to learn the language for free.
Mm-hmm. So where do you live?
In Israel.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that exactly. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that Nina lives in Bulgaria, and she's on our team, and she speaks like 150 something languages. Like most Americans, I speak one. Well, actually two if you count Southern dialect. I speak two.
Oh, that's funny.
But that's a really good thing to be here for. Really good.
It's also the content, of course. If a blab is going to be boring, then I will look for a better one.
Yeah. Well, we hope that we don't bore you with this, but if you do get bored, the good thing about it is very, very short.
Actually, are you guys? I've been on Blab for 3 days. Are you employees of Blab?
No, we're not employees of Blab. We're just a team that. What we are is, like I said, I have built communities for people. Some of the people who are in this know some of the teams and some of the people that I've worked with. And the truth is that gurus are, we work in a guru-free zone getting stuff done. We just believe that everybody is equal. We believe that everybody brings something to the table, and that, if you don't think that the example that I use all the time is that the guy that does our trash, we put our trash out there at the end of the road, and he comes by in his truck and he picks up 90 something houses in about 30 minutes. He has nobody helping him. And if that's a skill set, and I don't possess that skill set. So everybody has he may be acting out his desire to be on NASCAR. I don't know. But I do know that he's very, very good at what he does. And that I think that one of the things that's going to happen on the internet, the way that stuff is going, is that people are going to begin to realize you can't do it all, and that you have to, accept and honor the skill sets that people have. So we're just a team. We're just some people that like to get stuff done, man. That's what we are. You can send email to Stan at the Circadians.
I've seen the name of your company when I looked at your profile. So you find solution for your company, right?
I find solutions for my company, and I find solutions for other people's company. But again, to stay on topic, I appreciate you asking me that. I really do. And I would love to have a blab to talk about that sometime. We may do that. But to stay on topic, what we want to do is make sure that when people leave here, they feel like they've got something out of it. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put down here. I'm going to put a link. And if you feel like you got something out of this blab, just go there and give me a little review. That's it. Just click on it and say, we did pretty good in this thing, because that is one of the things that I do, is I just try to help people with technology. Nina, have you got anything else? Or Roy, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'd like to close with what you said earlier. I wanted to address your guru-free zone. I love that. Not enough people have that mindset. Again, here's the mindset part about things. And so there was a word that a friend of mine coined about 1.5 years ago when I asked her. I said, look, I don't want to mentor you. I don't want to train you, have you be my trainee, have you be my mentee, coachee. I don't like that stuff. It's just friends helping each other, educating each other. And she came up with the word frienducation. And then, of course, you've got all the STEM words from it, like frienducator, frienducators. And I just love that, because that way you're all on an equal footing. Because even if you're a mentor teaching a mentee, the mentee is certainly going to pour into the mentor. So I love your guru-free zone. And don't build your tribe around a single person. Love it, Stan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Paradise Found has one question. Mentioned yesterday and didn't make any progress on my end. Is it possible to change Twitter handle on Blab? Well, you just have to sign in as the other Twitter person. I mean, if you've got, like, I've got probably, I don't know, 40 different Twitter accounts that I handle for people. I just sign in as who I want. Did that answer your question, Paradise Found? Because it's all associated with that.
So you can't change your @ You come in with your @. So like Stan came in with his @Stan Bush. I came in with my @Roy Montero. You can't change that, but you can change what's up on top. Okay, and it won't affect Twitter. So Stan and I both have our names, but if we wanted to say, something else, you can change it to say something else. But I recommend that people use their real name up at the top. And then if you want to use a tagline or something like that, or a moniker, then put it in parentheses or something like that.
Yeah. See, her point is that she wants to stay with the same following. So, you know, everybody has to address that. That's one of the things you have to kind of address in every, you know, social network that you or get involved with is, do you do your personal thing, or do you business thing, or do you do, you know, like a business profile? And that's a tough one. But for me, I've decided that here I have, you know, I do come in with some of the other clients that I have. I do use their at usernames, but I don't know any way to do that. You can't change it. You can go up there and change it in settings, but I think I wouldn't do it. I think if you change it in settings, what's it going to do? Is it going to destroy the world as we know it, Roy, or is it just going to refuse to make that change? I haven't tried it yet.
You can't change the at, but you can change the top part. So that's all you can change here.
Sumner women, at the end of this blab, as soon as I close it out, I'm going to get an email that says, here's a link to download the audio for podcast. Here's a link to download the entire audio and video. And then there'll be an iframe code already written for you that's embedded on your site.
I'm going to type in the short URL here for her right now, because we already know it over there by Tell a Little Birdie. When you send out your tweets, that's what it is, blab.im/ and then the numbers and letters after that. Okay, that's for right here.
Where do you see that?
So if you go over to the left-hand side and you see what's already been tweeted, then you look like the one I'm looking at the top. After your name, Stan Bush, it says blab.im/ 6L7KA. So it inserts that after you send your tweet. It doesn't show as you're creating your tweet when you open up Tell a Little Bird, but it will be there afterwards. So if you're ever looking for that, go ahead and send out a tweet. It'll show up on the left-hand side along with the shortened URL, which is a blab.im.
We talked about that in our circadian. We have a meeting every morning. It's 25 minutes. And that's what we talked about this morning, is that when you first do that tweet, you can't really see that code. But I'm glad you pointed that out for me, because I see it now. Okay. How do you put your name on the top? Okay. That's settings. We're going to have to. You want to answer that, Roy?
Homepage settings. Just go there. Homepage settings.
Homepage. That's right. If you go up there to the very top, click on your name, go past profile and hit settings, it's going to come up and it's going to say full name, and it's going to have your email, and that's where you can change your full name there. And listen, we appreciate it, but like the topic says, I am going to stop recording now.